Okay, welcome to part 3 of this Baby's Coming Home video lesson series. So hopefully you have the melody down in the basic form. And when I talk about the form, I mean the chord changes for both sections. We're going to start introducing the boom chick rhythm that is synonymous with Chet Atkins playing, Jerry Reed, Tommy Emmanuel. And it's really important that you put a lot of focus on the boom chick rhythm, or the groove in general, because that's what's going to drive the song. Now, the melody is very important, obviously, and you want to spend some time practicing the melody, getting it nice and clean. But the rhythm, that's what's going to drive your performance when you play it. So, if I just look at the rhythm on its own with the chord changes, firstly, you want to make sure you know. Um, how to alternate the bass lines because it's not sort of very obvious from the get go. But if you have a look at, let's say, that C chord, the bass line is going to be like that. So we're actually going to go from C to G. So we're basically just inverting it by playing the fifth. The fifth being the G. You know, if you play a C major scale, G would be the fifth degree. So that would be fifth string, fourth string, sixth string, fourth string, and you can see my third finger is alternating. It's going to be the same when we play a C9 as well, even though it's a different voicing, it's the same tonic, like that. Okay, so when you get to a E7, so I should have mentioned this before, but the rule of thumb, no pun intended, or maybe pun intended, the rule of thumb is to start the first beat with the root of the chord. So if you're playing a C, you start with C, and then you alternate to G. And it just goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, a boom, chick, boom, chick, boom, chick, boom, chick. With the E, we're going to go sixth string, there's your root, and we're going to play the open fourth string. Then you can alternate with the fifth string, which is the fifth as well. This is B, like that. When you get to A minor, it's going to be the fifth string and the sixth string, and they're both open. So you're going to play A, then alternate with E, A, then E. So again, E is the fifth. It's not always the fifth, but generally speaking, especially when you're playing in these guitar-friendly keys, you generally get it where you alternate from the root to the fifth, like that. Then you get to C9. Now, when you get to F, this is a little bit interesting. When you play that full shape, obviously you can go F on the sixth string, and then C on the sixth string, and then fifth string, and C is again the fifth. Now, when you get to F minor, because you'll be playing, you may not find it comfortable to hold an F minor like this. So that's where you can just keep the same bass line, like this. You can see I'm just playing F, 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 F. They're both F, the octaves. And because it's only for one bar, it's fine. So sometimes you can break that rule. So we go from F to F major to F minor. C again. And A7 is going to be the same as A minor. When you get to this F sharp minor or D major inversion, again, just like the F minor, you can keep it the same because it's only a bar. So I'm just playing the F sharp and the open fourth string. Okay, boom, chick, boom, chick. D7, you want to alternate like that. So D on the fifth string, and then take your third finger up to get A on the sixth string. Now G7 is an interesting one because of the way that that voicing is voiced in the left hand. You're just going to play G and F, G and F, G and F, which is sixth string, fourth string, sixth string, fourth string. And that kind of breaks the root fifth rule because this is actually root flat seventh. It's not really that important to know, but as long as you're keeping a groove, The only rule is make sure you start the first beat with the root. So if I'm playing, for example, a G, I want to start with the G. It could be here, it could be here, depending on how, if you want a low bass or mid bass. If I'm playing, let's pick a random chord. Let's pick I don't know, C sharp minor. It's not in the song, but I want to start on the first beat with a C sharp. Okay. That's the rule of thumb. So if I go through the entire form, just playing that boom chick, what I'm going to do, I'm going to play the chord on the first beat like this, and I'm just going to let the chord ring like that. Okay. And this is a very quick sort of 5-10 minute thing. And if you're feeling confident enough, put on the soundtrack, go on YouTube, type in Chet Atkins, Baby's Coming Home, Jerry Reed, Baby's Coming Home, and play along with it. It's a great way for you to get into the groove of the song and not have to do too much, because sometimes the full arrangement is going to take a little bit of time. And the best thing that you can do to really internalize everything and not feel like you have not feel the pressure of wanting to put the song together is to practice the rhythm. Trust me, that's going to bring everything together. So let's have a look at the rhythm changes on their own. I'm going to shout out the chord as I go. I'll do it very slowly. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. We start with C. Boom, chicka, boom. E7. A minor, da do da C9, D da F major, F minor, C, A7, F sharp minor, D7, G7, sort of, G7, C major. Let me go a little bit slower. E7, A minor. You can sing the melody over the top. D da F major, F minor, C major, A7. Baby's coming home. And now we have that E7 as a little transition into section B. A minor, for 2 bars, D7 for 2 bars, F for 1 bar, G7 for 1 bar, C major, E7, minor for 2 bars, and we go to D7 for 1 bar, F sharp minor for 1 bar, the D7 again, D9, G7 for 2 bars, and back to section A. Ba boom ba boom ba, boom ba boom boom, da 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 C9, ba ba. Excuse my singing. Da da C major, A, and baby's coming home. Alright, didn't have to do that at the end, but alright, so that is how you can practice the rhythm. And that literally only took 2-3 minutes. And by doing that, firstly, you're really getting to know the form. You're exercising that thumb, which is so important. It's so important to get that thumb independent from the fingers. At times, I didn't play the chord on the first beat. That's okay. You don't always have to do that. Now, when we start adding the melody, you know where that melody is going to fit in with the groove. Before we move on to part 4, just want to let you know that the rhythm is in crotchets. So it's in 4/4. So the bass line is just essentially 1 and this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So important to know how many bars of each chord that you play. So 1 bar, for example, with the C would be 1. That's 1 bar. 2 bars would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So see how you go with that. Now we are in the process of practicing the song. We learnt the song in parts 1 and 2. Now we're looking to practice it, and our final step is to add the melody, and that will give us a very nice and simple version of Baby's Coming Home. In lessons in person, we will look at adding some embellishments, obviously some of the extra little ornamentations and maybe rhythmical sort of things that we can do that we can steal from Chet Atkins and Jerry Reed. All right, good luck, and I'll see you in part 4.